knows how long, because this old fucking sucker has just been throughout the weeks of just absolute chaos. Hello, one and all. Welcome back to Painting Up the Monster Manual, episode 45. We've got the Shadow Demons today, and one, I'm just glad to be back. Two, it's good to see Richard's face again. And three, it's time to paint some fucking minis, which is awesome. But I'm going to hand over to my friend Richard first to tell us who he is, where you can find him, and what lovely things you can get from him, because I've got some fucking cool pictures from Richard today. Some really fucking cool pictures.
I've remembered my whole spiel now, haven't I?
I got to remember your whole spiel, mate.
Okay, hello, I am Richard from Warrior Prints 3D. I am your one-stop shop for all your 3D printing needs. And that is anything, and I mean anything, from miniatures, collectibles, scenery, tabletop, statues and collectibles and other stuffs and cosplays and anything else you might want printed, and I mean anything, to a point of I'm doing wax seals this week because people want wax seal stuff, and I can do them if you give me the design. It's awesome, everything.
He really can do anything. I'm looking at the models next to you. Now, I know that I've ordered big things from you, like this BD unit that you can't quite see because it's the camera for this show isn't there. The thing that's behind my screen that people don't know about. The other thing that I've ordered that people don't know about. But that crow statue, I mean, how tall is that?
I think it's nearly 50 centimetres tall.
Yeah, so I mean, we're encouraging on the same sort of heights that we're now printing at, or say we.
I'll find out the exact bloody measurement.
Because that's so fucking huge.
So it's a 1/6 scale. It is beautiful. I've magneted it all at the moment and had to play around with some of the feet because when they do the cuts and stuff, it's a little bit precarious because I like to print in more solid pieces.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So, how much would something like that set somebody back?
Unfortunately, the big statues tend to be on the pricier side.
Yeah, no, I know that.
So, something like this, you are pushing well over £100. The annoying thing is it's mainly down to the bloody piece.
Yeah. It's so big. It's ridiculous, but that's fucking awesome. But Richard sent me a couple of pictures, like always, to show some of the new things that they've got in their store. I'm going to start with the Artisan Guild right here, because...
So, latest set, the Black Crag orcs are fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So, the artist behind Artisan Guild, I don't want to butcher his name, but revisited the orcs this month and had a big thing about it because he really wanted to redo them. And my god, the details are incredible.
Yeah, they're very World of Warcraft, aren't they?
Very much so, and with that little extra hint of D&D.
Yeah.
And I love this set. I really,
very
do.
cool. I love that.
The terrain piece is awesome. It's very heavy. He's not sculpted it solid to be printed. He's sculpted with scoops out.
Oh, that Manticore, jeez Louise. That's insane.
So the Manticore is here.
Oh, you've done it already? That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
And the Manticore can be mounted by the leader as well.
I love that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, can you imagine a tamed Manticore? That'd be horrible.
That'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Like, I love the wargs as well, like the Fiend Riders. It's so awesome. So absolutely awesome.
8 feet riders they are.
Are they?
Gorilla things.
I thought they were like just hench wargs, but...
No.
If that's not World of Warcraft, I don't know what is.
Right, that's it. It's brilliant.
It's so good. That fist. Bang! Yeah.
This guy is my favourite, and I've started a new scale of printing, 300%.
Yes, you have.
And he is epic.
You do like your big orcs.
Oh, God.
There's the Manticore. I love the braids on it, like, that's so badass. I almost want it to be like a Manticore that is somehow bred with orcish bloodline, so it's got like a green face instead of a human fleshy one.
That would be quite cool, actually.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like this one, the dual axe.
Yeah, love the dual axe.
It's just like, you're gonna take your own arm off.
Yeah.
Gotta have the thought, girl.
Yeah, these are all printed, all painted, and they are ready for the darling Fiora photography.
Oh.
Takes some beautiful pictures of them this week.
That's so cool. But we're going to move on to some of the other statues that you've got going on at the moment, because this It's so cool.
This is currently on the sink at the moment drying. So I loved Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
This month from Sanix it is Alita. So it had to be printed, and I'm very much looking forward to getting this pictured and built.
I love the subtlety of the metallics on that, like how they painted it, but like the detail and the smoothness on that face. So good. So obviously you then sent through these Owlbear and.
I've got these printed as well.
Oh, look how prepped he is!
Some new editions from Volcamancer.
Whoa!
They also come on their own as well.
Damn.
Which is quite cool. And do we dog it?
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm going to skip this picture, but then we'll come back to it in a minute. The orc cars.
I had to show these off this week because these are new releases from Mr. Modulork.
Yeah.
And I'm currently printing them all.
So do you have the license for Mr. Modulork now?
I don't have a merchant license, so I cannot pop it on the Etsy. However, people can message me for requests for them, so then I can obviously buy the patterns and do them as a printing service.
That's so very cool. I love that one with the windshield.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I know that you're doing an offer soon.
Yes, so I've got a vote going on at the moment. So it is between Isabel and Shadowheart. So it will be the next Warrior Prince offer. So I did an offer with Asterion last week, and I've decided that I'm going to run a 2-weekly offer on statues. It might include some of the bundles, but basically a statue of choice will go up for 2 weeks, will have a reduced cost, will only be available via Instagram. And what I will do is I will email out an invoice via SumUp, and you can make a payment that way, because that obviously then helps be it more of a better offer, because then it gets rid of the Etsy fees as well.
Yeah. But the mini that we're painting this week, which is this one right here, is freaking awesome. This is probably the one I'm most excited about because I get to use my blacker than black paint, and that's how I'm going to paint this up, because it's a Shadow Demon.
Well, you see, I thought you would go that way, so I went on a different way.
Oh, so I'm looking forward to doing this one. Here's this one by, I can barely read it. Realm of Faiths. That's very cool.
I'm trying to find, I did make sure I actually held the page up this time. So yes, this is by Realm of Pass. This was just a one-off pattern I bought from them, but I'm not going to lie, I'm quite impressed with it.
Yeah, I really, really like this particular mini, and we'll talk about its shape and everything like that in a moment, because there's also another shout-out that I need to do today, which is to Loki Battlemats, who sent out the deck of many insults, and we're gonna pull one of these right now, Richard. As if I cast vicious mockery on you.
Vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery.
That's how I'm gonna say it from now on.
Vicious mockery.
Mockery.
Vicious mockery. Bang! You're uglier than a plucked owlbear's arse. That's good. It's good. I really like the deck of many insults. We played around with it for the first time the other night. I've shuffled it and I'm not looking through it. I'm just drawing them at random as we do a little segment on them each time we open up one of our shows. But these are coming out, I believe, in August from Loki Battlemats. And yeah, if you're playing a character like a bard or a tiefling or anything, but that basically wants to use some cutting words, I really, really like this. And
I was going to say, I want to do a bard soon, so can you put me in contact with them?
Yeah, of course I can. But they're really, really awesome, and yeah, go check them out. Finally, hello to chat. Sorry that I've ignored you for a few minutes, but I wanted to catch up with Richard because I've not seen him in a few weeks because we've just been, I've been a busy boy who's just been on the edge of the knife, just going, "Ah!" So, hello to chat. Jim Worth says, it's been a while, looking forward to seeing the models brought along for this one. Yeah, it's going to be the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I'm glad you can get on there, mate.
Dan Drake says, sup? Hey Dan, how you doing? Dibs says, oggy, oggy, oggy. Hey Dibs, Connor is there. Herbalist is in the chat as well. And anybody else who might be lurking in the background, hi, it's fucking awesome to be back. I've really missed this, and yeah, I fucking need it. But we need to talk about the Shadow Demon, as that is what we are painting up today. So I'm gonna get my phone ready for a timer in a minute anyway. Have you got a level 3 ready to go, Richard?
I have indeed. I'm just gonna check on what the hell it is.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't need to know just yet, but let me grab a 1 hour timer, because that's obviously the point of the show is 1 hour one mini and see if we can roll initiative against it. The Shadow Demons are an interesting thing to look at. They are a CR4 creature, I believe. I'm going to double check that one right now. Yes. So, the main thing to note about these is they're not quite within the hierarchy that we've seen so far of the demons themselves. And usually we see like Grust is right at the top, and then you've got like the demon generals and lords, and then all the way right down to things like the Lemures and stuff like that, which is like the really like lower end devils and demons that are basically the foot soldiers in the Blood War. Shadow demons are created when one of those other demons is defeated on a plane that is not its home plane of the Abyss, and somehow it's unable to rematerialize, usually due to like a wizard's magic or some kind of trap or something that stops it from rematerializing back on the Abyss, so it rematerializes as a shadow demon. These things aren't bound to their demon lords. They can act on their own. And they become this almost vengeful spirit of demons where they just either then seek their own power or they can be used in different ways. And yeah, they're really, really interesting that they're sort of like what happens when dying goes wrong for them and they're not able to come back. As for them being a CR4 creature, we're going to see a few interesting things here, because when we look at the big three, which is the armor class, the hit points, and then the damage dealing potential, their armor class is 13, which for a CR4, that's low. So it's not going to be too hard to hit these things, but we'll get into why in a little bit. They have hit points 66 as standard. That is 12d8 plus 12 if you were to roll it up, which obviously, you know, you're looking at over the hundreds there, because that's, you know, average versus what you can roll. They do have a decent speed of 30 feet and also a fly speed of 30 feet, but I'm going to drop down to the damage potential. So they have one action, which is claws. Only one action. It's got a 5-foot reach, it's plus 5 to hit, and it does 2d6 plus 3 psychic damage, or if the demon had advantage on the roll, 4d6 plus 3 psychic damage. So you can tell already that this is a tactically playful monster that you're going to need to like blend into the shadows or try and hide, very roguelike, to try and get that higher damage. And it's all going to be down to its stealth and its ability to basically do incorporeal movement, because this is where we look at the abilities and why probably the armor class and the damage is so low for a CR4 creature, because they have incorporeal movement, so the demon can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. It takes 5 or 1d10 force damage if it ends its turn inside an object, which I would take that to say object, not creature, because you're not classed as an object when you're a player until you die.
Until you die, yeah.
So, rules as written, I'm like, you can stop movement inside somebody and wait there and take no damage, which I think is a really fun thing that you can play around with, because then the party are like, how the hell do I get in there without slashing at my friend? And it's all like trying to like find other spells or other things to move people, which I think is quite fun. They have light sensitivity though, so when in bright light, the demon has disadvantage on attack rolls, as well as wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. So the light spell, not going to be that good, but if you've got sunlight, or if you have managed to like break a hole in the roof and get daylight to come into wherever they are, you're then going to basically just absolutely smash these things out of the park. And then shadow stealth. While in dim light or darkness, the demon can take the hide action as a bonus action. So you could quite literally move up, bonus action hide, see if it goes up against their passive perceptions, and then go for the attack with advantage. So you're crit fishing with the potential of 4d6 plus 3. That, right there, is the rogue archetype that we are seeing with high damage output. So I think it's going to be a fun one. I really like these. I've only played around with them in the sense of having them in the background so far, so I've not really run one before properly. They've got the standard demon damage resistances, so thunder, fire, necrotic, acid, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. They also have immunities to lightning, poison, and cold, so can't be done by that. Exhaustion, grapple, paralyzed, petrified, poison, prone, and restrained, they are immune to. They have dark vision for 120 feet. They have telepathy and abyssal as their languages. Stealth is a +7, and their saving throws are a dex and charisma with a +5 and a +4. They have no negative stat apart from strength, which is a -5 because they are not a physical being, which is interesting. But apart from that, that's pretty much the entire stat block. So, I guess, Richard, have you got a level 3? What race, class, and what are they called?
So, I can't even say this name. It's Lilshin Geodenose.
Right.
It is a deep gnome monk.
Wow. Deep gnome monk.
Do you know what's even funnier?
What?
It's a way of the sun deep gnome monk.
You're getting lucky with these. It's good. I like it.
I don't understand how a deep gnome underdark can be a thing of the sun.
Maybe it's their call. Maybe we'll play into that. I don't know. But let's set a scene before we jump into painting. So, I'm not going to pronounce the name.
Just call me Lily.
Lily. On your travels, maybe it's part of a rite of passage for your monastery or your training as a monk and getting to Way of the Sun, and it being an important part of being able to bring that light back into the rock gnome lineage and be able to like grow crops underground, or maybe bring that warmth to whatever religion it is that you follow. Maybe even if it's the Dawn Father and that light is through the monastery. Either way, you go on a pilgrimage and you find yourself in a dark forest surrounded by mist, somewhere on the just maybe at the foot of a mountain that maybe you're part of and that you live in. And as you enter the village, you can see it's like a traveling caravan of performers and maybe gypsies or Romany style, not Romany style, what are they called in Strahd? I've forgotten the name of the travellers in Strahd. But a very colourful people that clearly would have been all about the parties and all about the community, and you find them slaughtered. Whole camp of them. And they have these horrid sunken faces with gouge marks across them. Some of them you can't even see damage on. Other ones, it's like they died so quickly and something supernatural happened to them that they look like they've been decaying for years. And yeah, you stand in this encampment, you just feel that chill come over you, and it just gets really dark. And you swear it was probably twilight when you entered, but now it's the middle of the night. The moon is missing, the stars are bright, but it's so hard to see. Luckily with your gnome vision, everything's in kind of grayscale, and you can just make out all of the bodies, the old campfire, the dead horses, the destroyed, turned over carts. Give me a perception check, please.
Hearty 7.
7. Maybe in this moment that chill takes over and you are so focused on maybe helping people or trying to check for something that you don't notice that if we were to see it from the back, we'd see like the silhouette of your form as a shadow starts to rise out of the ground behind you. Almost like just a ghost coming through a floor. We see the head, and then we just see like the tips and the points of some wings, and it keeps coming up and up and up. It goes to your height, the top of its wings and its head and its bust are out. It doubles your height, and it's only halfway down its wings. And then it's almost like it trails away to nothing at the ground. As its full height, it's about 6 foot tall, and it is going to straight up try and slash down on you. It's going to have advantage on the attack roll because it was stealthed up pretty good. And let's see what happens. So this is also my first roll of the day. Okay, first roll's an 11. Next one's a 7. So the 11 plus 5 for a 16.
Ooh, just hits me.
Okay.
Well, I say just. I have an armor class of 15.
Okay, so this cold hand silently rips through you. You take 15 points of psychic damage in your mind as this shadow hand rips through the back of your neck. I need you to roll initiative for me, please.
It's mean, that was. That's 15 damage. Roll initiative. Initiative is 16.
Okay, you will be going first. And you have 1 hour to paint up your mini. Right then. So, it's your turn while I shake up this maxed off.
If this thing is in close proximity with me, I will cry.
It absolutely is.
Right. Sort of punch my fists together, they begin to glow, and I leap about and go monk shit on his ass.
Do it! Yoda it.
Right, primary blows. So, I'm going to attack. Natural 20 for a
Yes!
Ignorant changes in there, so bear with me, I'm just going to roll that off.
Yep.
So that's 7 damage.
7 points of damage.
14 damage total.
Okay, is for the purpose of the hits, are your fists counted as magical?
I can't remember if they are at this point.
I'm not sure if they are at level 3 either.
Then no, they're not.
Okay, so that's going to be half back again to 7 points of damage.
Right. Then I'm going to do flurry of blows, but I'm going to use my radiant sunbolt attack.
Nice.
This is magic.
Go for it.
Is 2 more attacks, 17 and 18.
Both of them hit. Roll the damage separately for me, please.
Say again?
Roll the damage separately for me, please.
So the radiant damage, because it's all magical, is 6 and 4.
Okay, so that's radiant damage, yes?
Yeah.
6 and 4 for 10. That doubles to 20 because it is vulnerable to radiant damage.
That's very sweet.
As this push, push, and like it recoils, and in this moment, this like pitch black face, you almost see a shape to it, maybe like the sunken eyes, a nose, and yeah, it's definitely a form. It's just hard to make out, even with your dark vision. But that is a heavy hit, as the light almost punches holes into it to begin with. And yeah, we will go from there. If there's anything else from you.
Let me have a little done bonus action. I've spent a key point to do that. That's it.
Okay. So, in terms of painting, I've primed in black, and then I am quite literally coating this thing in the matte Darth Black, which is the one that dries really chalky, well, really charcoaly, and very, very dark, so you can't pick out the details almost, because I want that shadow to really be something dark. And then I'm probably going to dry brush over it, places like the face, the chest, the tops of the wings, and the claws, in maybe a grey and a purple. How are you going to go about yours?
So, I had a feeling you might go with that dark black, so I, as you said before, allow the primer to do its work.
Yeah.
So I primed, it was originally Zenithilled, but then I gave it a base coat in black ink.
Oh! Buddy!
To give it the slight sort of shine to it at the base. And I'm basically going to dry brush in Warp Fiend Grey with a bit of Azul Grey and a bit of yellow for the eyes, and I'm going to be a lazy bastard with it.
So I'm not even going to paint in the eyes. I am going to quite literally leave it mostly black and then do in some colour, because I just want it to be this incorporeal creature. But I love that you've used inks. Such a fancy fellow. It's very, very cool. But it is going to take its turn, and I think recoiling slightly from this devastating blow to it, it is going to... Your fists cast dim light, don't they?
I don't know if they then light up. No, the back's being sort of...
Okay, cool. So, it is going to... It recoils and it, like, melts into the ground, like this hardened dirt beneath you, and it goes out of sight. It's going to make a stealth check. Okay. What's your passive perception?
11.
Okay.
No, 12.
12. Okay, cool. We got a 17. So you lose sight of it, as I think in this like grayscale vision that you would have as dark vision, it is just hard to keep track of a shadow in this moment. And yeah, I guess it will move. You can't see it to do anything, and then it will creep up in your space, and it's going to try and attack you as if it was trying to claw into your body. It's just like the hands come up and their like fingers are really long, and it's just as it comes up. It will have advantage on the roll because it passed its stealth check. Okay. First one's a 16, second one is a 21.
Good hit.
Okay, that is, oh dear. That is 20 points of psychic damage.
I'm gone.
Are you down?
Yeah. That's 35 points of damage you've done to me.
Holy shit. Fuck. I thought it was going to last longer than that. It can only do the one attack. And so it pulls you almost like down into the ground. But obviously your physical form can't go into the ground. And it pulls itself up through you, which causes this like unbearable psychic damage. And you see why some of the bodies that maybe look like they didn't have claw marks or had just died out of nowhere, you probably get why now. It then hovers in the air above you. Yeah, it's your go. If you'd like to make a death saving throw at the start of your turn. 13. You pass, but unfortunately that is all that you can do. As you feel in this like in and out of consciousness, the start of your soul almost being drained away, you just feel like this thing is siphoning your own life essence out of you. You can feel the hate and the anger as it just reaches its hands into your chest and just begins to pull your soul out of your body. It's going to make the attack with advantage because you are prone. And this is a easy crit attack. Okay, 9 and an 11, so 16 to hit.
2 death saves gone.
Okay. What's your max hit points?
33.
Okay, so it's only 15 points of damage, so we don't need to worry about max hit points. It's almost like it's enjoying it as we move to your turn once more.
Five.
And that's it. As your physical soul leaves your body. Are there any last thoughts or words from Lily?
Bollocks.
You know what would be quite fun is, I think, if as your soul is pulled out, you like in these final moments, you realise it's not your soul, it's your shadow, and you just feel the shape morphing, and your emotions and your whole being begins to change. The essence of everything you are, as this little gnome forms into a small shadow demon. And I guess that's the combat. I didn't expect that to go down so fast.
You and me both.
So yeah, have you ever used a Shadow Demon?
I have not.
No, they're pretty fun. I think one of the most famous uses of them is it was a base, I believe, for one of the Campaign 2 Crypt Roll bad guys, who is like this rogue shadow who could like materialize out of the floor.
Okay.
And they turned up in like Pumat Souls.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and they were like bound and eventually like released and sort of made a friend. Yeah. Right, I need a dry brush and I can't find one. Because I'm going to try and do the base as bright as possible. What I really want out of this is for it to be a real contrast to the depth of the black that we would use.
What base have you put yours on?
So I put mine on a standard WizKids base, but I've actually used a load of slate and bits of terrain just to create some dirt. I'm then going to make it really sandy or a light mud, and I'm going to then use little like tufts of maybe pink or green. What about you?
I put it on a plain base. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it black, and then I've got a pool of liquid puddle stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to pour it on as though it's coming out of liquid shadow.
Yeah, that's badass. Because I think it's going to be the base that really sets this mini off. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that the mini itself is fucking badass. But because it's such a dark colour and it's going to remain that dark colour until it dries. Right, and then once it's on the base as well, I really want the contrast of it coming out of the ground and being something different.
Yeah. I'm also nearly finished.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just need mine to dry and then I'm going to work on the base. So, what events have you got coming up then? Because I know that we were talking before and you've got events coming up, and I know that we've got the live show in August, on August the 17th, and hopefully you'll join us for Starfinder on the 18th.
All things going to plan.
Yes. So that's going to be here in Falmouth. What about you? What events are you currently at the moment?
So I've got a new toy fair in Reigate this weekend, my normal Reigate trip the following weekend. I've got a local one by me that's coming up. And I've also been invited to one in West London, I think, as well.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. So you've got Reigate coming up. So where's the one in West London?
I'm not too sure. I'm waiting to hear back from the person for details, but they've asked to see if I'm interested. And I have replied in the affirmative.
That's very cool. Very, very cool.
It all depends on the details and how much it's going to cost, really.
And that's the other thing, isn't it, really? It's down to costing of these, because unfortunately, it ain't free for us.
Expensive. And a lot of the time, there's a lot of money to lay out. I've got Crawley coming up soon, and that in itself is a few £100.
Really?
About £75 a table.
Fuck. See, because I just don't do events, really, because I'm like, you know what, I'm taking it nice and chill and stuff like that, but I'm very fortunate in the sense that I don't have to. So I feel for you on that one, buddy. I really do. Right, I am struggling to find a dry brush here. This is a stream now, so you get to watch an empty seat.
So I just had a text from my printer to say it stopped, so you might have an empty seat from me in a minute.
Oh, where are you, dry brush? I can't have taken them all down to the house, surely.
I didn't think you even painted the house.
I do. I like to paint. Oh, I have a paint station down in the house and a paint station up here, so that if I want to hang out with my wife, I can do. Or if I've got to look after the kids, I can paint and do stuff. It's all down to trying to be able to do it at all times, really. Slash make dice and work and do all the things that I need to do. Ooh, okay. You think he'd be prepped for a stream? Give me a break, I've had a few weeks off. Right, okay. I guess I'm stippling it on with a a sponge.
So is this one way to play the game?
Hey, lot of cats, how you doing? Just seeing you creeping into chat there. Hope you're all good. How is everyone doing out there? So I'm stippling on a medium sand, and I'm going to go up through the sand colours to really try and contrast the black. In the meantime, let's put that up there to dry. Okay. I'm going to treat this like a dry brush in the sense I'm going to try and take the majority of the lightest colour off.
Trying to determine if this thing's horns are actually part of its shadow, or if it's just the way they've done the light, the drawing there.
Yeah.
As though it's going, you know, disappearing.
So, that actually is probably just where I've held down on an iPhone and taken it out of the monster manual as they've like, it probably is thinned away, which is why it's coming out behind it, but I don't know, I'm just going to...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the actual proper image. You've done it right, it's where it's disappearing off to shadow.
Right. I am using a majority of AK Interactive paints today. Where's your ink from?
Vallejo.
Oh, really? Nice.
The game colouring.
I really need to get some more inks, not just like art ones. I need to get actual like mini painting company ones and give them a go. I really want to get the AK ones that you guys got at UK Games Expo.
I didn't get any of the AK inks.
Oh, did you not?
No, I wish I had. I've recently bought their white one, which is very nice.
Ooh, fancy.
For when I want to do fancy Xenophils.
So, I'm hoping to do is hit this with the highest points being the brightest creams. Jim says, all good here, mate, apart from the fact I'm melting. We're looking at the Villaney in sea tolls at the expo. Cool. Yeah, it has been a warm day today. I'm not sure what it's like where you are, Dibs, but down here in the Cornshire, it is certainly a warm. Right, so let's grab our demon. Still a wee bit wet in places, but that's fine. I'm going to grab my fan, bring that over. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it there. There we go. So, time to glue this to a base.
Alright, sure, doing the bubble effect, I'm done.
Yes! That's 18 minutes, buddy. That's awesome. I love it when they're like this. Let's have a look. Or do you want to save it for the end?
I can pick it up, it all depends.
Oh, that ink has worked really well. Really, really well. See, the simplicity of how you've painted that is exactly what this show is about. You've quite literally gone black primer, zenith, black ink.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fucking so cool. Love it. Right. Come on, stick your wee specky bastard. I need... Oh no, I don't have my spray. That's alright. Just have to give it a minute just to stick for me. then once it's on there, I can do a little bit of dry brushing. So where do you think you'd put this into a campaign then?
It'd be one of those ones I'd have. Probably have something like this as an assassin.
Yeah.
Sent after, you know, the party. It'll be an in-room jobby.
Yeah. 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 I think that is such a good way of doing it. It's a such a fun idea to have that kind of, not just like a normal character class or monster, but to have something like otherworldly, be like, right, you have been summoned, made a contract, and it's like, go kill the party. Very, very cool. Right. See that?
It'll be one of those ones that you can't hear coming in the room door.
Exactly, because they are incorporeal.
It will come through your bed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's but I love that. I think that is so perfect, especially for like horror style D&D, and for those moments where it's like, you know, you think you're safe.
Bichang.
Yeah. Dim says, tell Beardy I finished the goat and its base, just the rider to finish now.
Ooh.
Fancy, fancy. Right, let's grab some tufts while we wait. So I'm going to use some Rivalcraft grass tufts. Stick those on there. Just to add a few different colours to the base.
So if you want tufts, these are the ones I picked up at Expo.
I've got those. Love them.
And the flowers.
Yes, I've got those too. I've literally, and I'm going to grab them now because free ad.
And there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So I have pretty much the exact same as Richard there. I've got the strong green tufts bow, which are really, really vibrant dark. Like, odd for saying vibrant dark green, but they really show they're like a really rich colour. I've got the pink tufts, and these are probably the best neon pink tufts that I've found so far. And I use those for anything Feywild, a lot of different sci-fi things for alien planets, because Starfinder. And then we've got the Venus flytraps and also the fern-like plants. Have you put any of them together yet?
No.
They're a nuisance. But they are cool when they're together, because they make this like really awesome, sturdy-looking 3D flowers. And I did them on my Tau, who have got pink and purple bases, and it was so good. Dib says, what's everyone else painting at the moment, or what are everyone doing? Well, I'm currently painting this, but outside of this, I'm doing a load of terrain for the jungle that the party are entering for Starfinder at the moment, along with trying to finish the dice for Richard, which goes in the pot today. The one we spoke about at the Badgers Expo, at the barbecue.
Take your word for it.
Cool. Then I'm also working on a potential order for somebody else, and I need to do a dice for the giveaway, which is going to be at the Falmouth Con.
You saying about giveaways just reminded me. I am closing in on 3k followers, and I will be doing a massive giveaway for 3k followers.
Awesome. Very, very cool. We'll talk about that. About the yeah, and because I will probably. You donate to mine, I will donate to yours. So that has been eyeing up in the background there while I'm waiting for mine to dry. What is that?
I meant to give you the picture for it, and I forgot. I had forgotten. I'm just going to find it quickly, and I'll send it over to you.
Dibs has Steph got her dice yet. So the masters are in the final stage of being polished. It takes a few months for me to make masters through to full sets. So they are now in the second stages of polishing, which is awesome. So once they're done, they'll be cast, and then we can start making the dice properly. Speaking of that, Beardy, parcel has been picked up.
Oh, wicked. So Dibs is donating to the giveaway too. So far we have, I'm going to be doing a couple of bundles, a D&D starter set, we've got a wet palette, and a Warhammer set as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, there'll be some form of DragonBorn Industries dice in there, whether it's a chunk, whether it's a set. I don't know yet. I will find something for you and throw it in there, Richard.
Much appreciated.
No, my absolute pleasure. You've given away to donated to our giveaways in the past, and worked with you on this show and the sponsorship for Starfinder. So my absolute pleasure. So we're going to grab. I need a dot purple.
It'll work quite nicely actually, because my aim is to have it as a D&D goodie bundle.
Oh, cool.
So it's probably gonna be a battle box set and a character starter set from me as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay. We'll sort some out. I'll probably send you a set then. Right. Oh. Back to the old stipple machine. Let's grab some paper at this point. So.
I don't know how long this stuff takes to dry.
Inks are a little bit longer unless you've got a fan on them. Anything to keep air moving around them.
I'm not going to do that yet then. I'm doing that after the stream. Right, there we go, please. Yes, and black. Quickly load up Twitch and see if I can see. Have a quick check of the chat while you're doing that.
Oh, crack on, please do.
Fly.
So mine is now need to do a small little wash on the face. We're almost there. Really like this mini.
It's a bit busy.
It is, actually. It's really, really nice. And it's interesting to have something so detailed that I don't need to paint the details on. It's weird. It's definitely an interesting specimen for mini painting. I can imagine, very like if you went in and like edge highlighted or just like the top layer highlighted on every bit of muscle striation and every bit of wisp of shadow, that would be fucking insane.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. Cool. Right, I'm going to paint back in the face and then give it the old thumb wipe.
I love a bit of thumb.
Gonna paint the darker lines back into the ones, the tendons between the fingers and on the back of the wrist. Some bits underneath the muscles, just to really put that depth back in there after the dry brushing.
I can always reach this. Nice. It's been ages since I've had a nice quick one done.
Yeah, it's. I don't even think I'm far away now. I mean, I would pretty much say that that is definitely tabletop ready. It's.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All about the colour contrast, so it really stands out. And in all fairness, I'm going to say that's tabletop ready. That's 29 minutes to paint those up. How did yours look in the end? Didn't know you could read.
Just about.
You leave my Richard alone! Can't see anything. Looks like a shadow. Boom. Yeah, so how's yours looking, Richard? Now that it's a bit more dry.
So, on my lid.
There. Oh, dude. I love how inks just sit so deep with colour on the
Yeah.
on the depth, like a proper decent wash. Whereas mine is
Fucking beautiful, mate.
all done. Two colours. Two colours. Black and a dark purple. And that is that's the Shadow Demon done. Hopefully, you guys who are watching on Twitch or watching back on YouTube have learnt something about the monster, maybe about its abilities, and also about like the monk that is perfect against it realistically. Hopefully we might have taught you something about painting as well, who knows. But that is, I would say the Shadow Demon is definitely doable within an hour.
Definitely.
Definitely. I mean, like, 1 hour for tabletop ready, piece of piss. 1 hour, I could probably go further. Yeah. So, yeah, happy days. But that, since we're done, is the end of the show. It's a short one. We're, God, 53 minutes, that's up.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I guess we should be back next week. I think next week is the Vrock, isn't it?
That's the
Yes. So it is the weird, vulture-looking...
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one.
I think it's going to be a lot of dry brushing through greens and blacks and blues, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll get it planned up later today and have a look at it, but it's interesting. But it's a CR6, so it should be quite fun. I'll give you a CR5, well, a level 5 character if you want. Yeah, so I guess we are, just prime black, job done. I nearly did that for this one, but I was like, you know what? I'll actually put bare minimum effort in.
It was one of those things I was like, do I just use contrast or a speed paint straight over white and be like... But I thought no, I had it in my mind, I was like, no, I want to do... I wanted to use the warp green grey, and I thought, it's going to be perfect for it.
Yeah. It was so cool, and I think that I really like the oil, the ink. It's so good on that Zenith. I like to the point where I'm like, fuck, I want to do that. So definitely there for that. As for the show, guys, thank you very much. We'll be back next week then for the Vrock. Until then, may those dice gods be ever in your favour. And unless there's anything else from you, Richard.
No, I think I've covered everything. Stand by for details for the giveaway.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a video in itself of that. And give me a shout if there's anything you want and or need.
Yeah, join Richard tomorrow on Band of Badges for Abomination Vaults. That's back.
Yeah.
I'm back tonight on Band of Badges for Dragonlance. It's been a while, so I've got to remember how to wizard. I'll be back Monday again for some Starfinder, and also the one-shot that Richard and I took part in, which was the new Tales of the Old West, is now up on YouTube as well with Band of Badgers, which was really fun, actually. I really like that system. Yeah. Yeah. Until then, may those dice gods be ever in your favour, and we will see you all next week. Take it easy, guys.
No, it says.